Good morning, guys, and welcome to Ride VIP, the Rideshare channel. My name is Serge, and as promised, I'm making a video in the morning, which is Saturday morning, to show you guys how well did I do or didn't do on Friday. So I did actually work an entire shift, and I'm here to share with you guys how that went. As you can see, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It just now kicked me out of the app. I literally just worked 12 hours. So you could see that I was online for 11 hours and 10 minutes, and then again online for 1 hour and 4 minutes. And that's because you already know the day ends at 5 in the morning and starts at 5 in the morning. That is why that is like that. The reason I have this page pulled up, and this is so you can actually tell how much money I have made for that time. You can clearly see I've made under $230. Can you believe that? Under $230 for the course of 12 hours. This is a lot worse than it was. Like, this is pretty bad, in my opinion, because normally gross I'm making about $300, especially like on a Friday. Now this was a Friday and I'm making under $230. Well, that's quite crazy. So anyways, let's do this. Let's take $227. $227, and we're gonna divide it by 12. So basically I'm making $18.91 per hour. But how much am I making really? Well, I'm gonna need to fuel up because I'm almost on empty. Almost. I mean, my Range Rover says I have 71 miles left over. I really don't know how many miles I've driven, but a little hint: anytime I fuel up a full tank in the beginning of the shift, it always tells me I have somewhere around 389 to as much as 430 miles left, in fuel. Well, with all that being said, let's just get back over here. I'm just gonna take a screenshot for myself so I know what I finished with. And if you're looking at $340.12 that I haven't cashed out, well, I haven't cashed out for 3 days. Both of the days that I worked, which was Wednesday and Thursday, was terrible. Wednesday was the worst. I was making $12.75 an hour, and then I spent most of the money on fuel. But then Thursday wasn't much better because, I don't know. Well, I'm actually curious to know, really curious to know, because I knew that on Wednesday I made $12.75 because I done the calculation. However, on Friday I really did not do a calculation. Now on Wednesday gross was $12.75, but I filled up $26 in fuel. So you could already, roughly speaking, you could estimate it that I'm making about $6.50 after fuel expense per hour on the Wednesday, which is horrible. My gosh, that is like horrible. So over here you could see I was making $61.94 for 3 hours and 36 minutes. So let's just say that's 3 hours and 30 minutes. 61, but I filled up for $36. So let's just take $62 minus 36 in fuel. That leaves me with $26. Let's divide that by 3.5 hours. So making $7.42 on a Thursday. Hence why I quit early. I just went home. Why am I gonna have to deal with that, at 61.94? Now, on a Wednesday, as you could see, I worked 4 hours and 52 minutes for $51.15. So let's just take $51 minus $26 divided by, what's that, 5? Yeah, basically 5 hours. $5 an hour. What? That is how, like, why did I even need to use math for that? Sure, I just worked 12 hours, but that was just obvious. $25 divided by 5. It's 5. So, yeah, like, guys, man, working for Lyft, at least for Lyft, I'm just speaking from the point of Lyft, not Uber, because I'm only doing Lyft. It was great about 3 months ago. Oh, it was great. It was like quite normal, not any worse than Uber, but I had no other choice but to work for Lyft because my Range Rover is 2006 and that's the only vehicle I'm using right now for Lyft. But with all that being said, you could already see like that working on regular weekdays is horrible. Now, one thing that I will mention to you guys is this. I literally was working in the evening for these shifts. I went out and I worked in the evening. For instance, on the Wednesday, I thought it was Thursday, so I went out on an evening, thinking that some people start the weekend early, like on a Thursday, and I might, get some customers. Well, I did get some customers, but it's not paying too well, and as you can tell, tips are not doing that well either. So where I'm going with this is, usually if I start after 6 p.m, usually I was doing pretty well. So that's why I started Wednesday after 6, did the same thing on Thursday after 6, and basically I started, I guess, 6 p.m. on Friday because I'm working a shift 6 to 6. Normally working 6 to 6, I will make about $25 an hour gross working in economy class. But now it's just getting worse and worse. Like, I am like super disappointed, not for myself, but for all of us, because this is what everyone is going through. And I guess some of you guys that got more fuel efficient cars, you're probably laughing now, right? Because you got a fuel efficient car, at least you're saving more on fuel. But still, at these prices, at the gross prices, to make like $12.75 or $16.50, that's still not great. Because once you deduct fuel out of it, you might as well go get yourself a job, like a regular job that pays like $15 an hour. Like, I'm talking about like non-educational job, a base job that pays $15 an hour. Most jobs now that does not require like many technical skills or whatever, like it's just $15 an hour. Like regular jobs, they used to pay like $9, $10 an hour. They're $15 now. So as an Uber driver and a Lyft driver, I started doing this in the beginning. I was making in economy class between $30 and $50 an hour. Sure, I thought, wow, this is lucrative. Like, this is great. And that was 2 years ago. And at the time, I was already told that it used to be even better. And now it's gotten so much worse. It's because companies are getting more greedier. They're charging people a lot more for their fares. And this is why you look at my shift. I mean, I'm taking people on a Range Rover. Everyone's happy. I don't have any dissatisfied clients. Yet, here's one tip for $3. Here's one tip for $3. There's a $3 tip. There's a $2 tip. And that's it. I just showed you 3 days worth. Nobody wants to tip. So our averages are way, way, way down. Surely some of you might say, well, it's early July, right? There might not be, that much opportunity. But guys, I'll tell you what, last year, I rented a Tesla around like June through August. Yeah, literally through the end of August. No, like July. Yeah, July through the end of August. So like July just literally just started. You could tell July 3 through July 9. That is what it's showing here. And right now it's July the 8th. Why am I telling you this? I rented a Tesla Model 3 Performance, and I was still able to make $5,500 clean profit every single month after paying for all the Tesla expenses, including the rental. I mean, that's quite a bit, like I was paying like $75 to rent, about $25 to charge, so it was like $100 a day. And my Range Rover, I'm gonna find out right now like how much it's gonna cost me to fuel, because I'm driving. Depending if I'm gonna be talking or not, I could tell you what it cost me in fuel this time. But I'll tell you what, you might have heard a little ding, and that means I have 67 miles left over. The arrow for the fuel is near the red, so it tells me, hey, we gotta get some fuel now. But I'm probably gonna fuel up minimal $70 worth, if not 80, because fuel price has been going up too. So let's just estimate that I'm gonna fuel up at $70. Let's take this old calculation of $227 minus $70. And it could cost me $75. It even could cost me $80. Okay, I'm just doing an estimate. So that leaves me with $157 net, approximate. This is kind of like educated guess based on my previous experiences. So we're gonna divide 157, which is my income for 12 hours, into 12-hour day, which leaves me at $13 an hour. Like, wow, that is terrible. I used to be a certified nurse's assistant back in 2005. Like, I actually left the industry to do expedite, but I was doing that for 5 years. At the time, I was getting paid $12 to $13 an hour. Right now, my mom, she's still a certified nurse's assistant, and she's making $15 an hour. And there's one location that my mom used to work at. I spoke to one of the nurse assistants there, and she's making like $18 to $19 an hour. And being a certified nurse's assistant, like, that's a 3-month to 4-month course that you take in college to become one. They were making like $18, $19 an hour. So their job is just to go to work, and that's it, to stay at work. Now we are over here driving around the whole entire day, putting miles on our car, looking at just the fuel expense, when in reality, it's not just the fuel expense that we have to look at. We need to look at the car maintenance, and even more than that, because obviously you already know car maintenance could mean many things like oil changes and whatnot. But what if the car breaks down? You got to fix it. Well, I just now pulled up at a fuel station. I'm gonna take my phone with me to outside. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna fuel up yet. So the fuel over here for the mid-grade, it's $3.49. But I believe that up the same street, the fuel price might be, I don't know, like $3.24. So I'm gonna just keep driving for now. But every day it's fluctuating. Sometimes I'm seeing like $3.30, sometimes it's like $3.50, and that's for mid-grade. And this car does require premium fuel, but I've been putting in just mid-grade because it's just way too expensive. But it's not important for me to really share how much fuel I'm gonna put in. I mean, the fact of the matter is I'm gonna put a lot of fuel in here because this is an SUV. It's a Range Rover V8, so you already know it's gonna require lots of fuel to drive because they're not that fuel efficient. If you wonder what the fuel efficiency of my vehicle, if I could believe the math that it does for me on the dash, I haven't really calculated the actual fuel economy of this vehicle. I just don't really even care to find out, but the dash tells me it's 15.7 miles per gallon. It has gotten better somehow. It was like 15.5, but somehow it's gotten better, and I haven't like reset it or nothing. So this is overall fuel economy, like over the course of 13,000 miles. I literally already put 13,000 miles on this Range Rover, guys. But anyways, I think I said enough. You know, in conclusion, I'm just gonna say at $13 an hour, guys, this is going to, I don't know if it's the right word to say, price out a lot of Lyft and Uber drivers out of this business because it's unsustainable, especially for people that has bought brand new cars to do this, and they are now, even for economy cars like Priuses or whatever, in order to do this, you will rake up the mileage. You will rake it up. Like, nothing has changed for me about the mileage. Like, look, recently bought a Range Rover, I already put 13,000 miles on it, and I don't even work every day. I just work 3 days a week now, guys. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's all I work. And you might be wondering, well, why did I leave on Wednesday or Thursday? Well, I needed the money, I left, and I wanted to see how I do. So I did that. But people that have bought brand new cars are probably looking at this $30 an hour figure and says, well, what the heck am I doing? Why am I putting 400 miles on my car every day? Like, why? I can't sustain this because your car is depreciating like bunch of, like a bag of rocks, you know? And this fuel efficiency that you really have, you really don't even have it because your car is depreciating at a faster rate. So even my Range Rover is doing better. Like, my Range Rover is doing better right now as far as fuel economy. It's doing better than a Tesla Model 3 that I rented, because the Tesla Model 3 was costing me $100 a day. This is costing me about $75. So, well, yeah, I'm here at a fuel station, so I'm gonna talk to you guys some more. So I'm just pulling into this one. So this one, regardless the price, I'm gonna fuel up. But last time I filled up here, it was like, man, it was like, I don't know, it was like $3.24, I believe it was. So let's see what the price is right now. Yeah, it went up. $3.44. So it's not much different. Yeah, it looks like somebody just gave me a tip. So the math just now updated, I guess. Yeah, see, $3.46. So that's good. At least somebody gave me a tip. So anyways, I'm gonna walk outside. And I'm kind of curious myself to find out, like, what is this income really. So I'm gonna get the mid-grade at $3.44, which is really $3.45. Who am I kidding? So let's just pop open my gas tank, select 89, even though it really needs 93. And let's start counting. So I'm gonna stand here and talk to you guys while it fills up. So you might be thinking I'm making some comparison, like telling you Range Rovers are more fuel efficient and stuff. But if you're renting one, like I was, this Range Rover is costing me less. I mean, it's mine, you know. Sure, service can bite me, right? This Range Rover could break at any moment, right? But you might remember that I only paid $2,500 for it at the car auction. And I actually put $3,000 in it. Now, all of the money that I put in it was just a lot of little stuff. But some stuff, like, it doesn't really even count. Like, I bought a roof rack for it. I bought a side step and some other gizmos, which really was completely unnecessary. And I updated the rear lights. I updated all the badging, you know, brand new tires and all, grills and side vents and things of that nature. But that made it look nice. It cleaned it up a little bit, and I like it. My wife likes it. My kids like it, you know, and get lots of compliments with it. Like, and everybody tells me I got a nice car. But heck, I only spent basically $5,500 all in on this car. So by me putting 13,000 miles on it, I know I already got my money out of it. I already made my money back. I mean, sure, I haven't really seen the money, technically. Everything's going into bills and my business investments, because I'm constantly reinvesting my money. So it's already at 60 and it's still counting. So I'm curious to know, was my math correct when I said it's going to be 70? So it's 65. And it just cut off at 67. So as you could see, I slightly overestimated how much fuel I'm going to get, because it's 67, 66. That's the exact price. So it's good. You know, my math is working. So basically I'm working, you know, I'm getting like still $13 an hour, basically. Maybe $13.20 per hour, which does not please me in any way whatsoever. So guys, obviously this is a major problem, not only for me but for you as well. I don't like to just find problems. I like to find solutions. And my solution, you guys already probably could tell, my solution is doing eBay. You could also do Amazon, like Amazon FBA. So very quickly, I wanted to tell you guys, I've made 6 eBay listings while working today. Mainly everybody come out on time. It was very hard for me to list items because, you know, when you have other plans like making eBay listings, people tend to come out on time. Like, I don't have to wait for anybody. Everybody's just like coming out, you know, and that was great. So yeah, I made 6 listings. Each item that I'm selling, I list a bunch of headlights. So the average sale price would be like $100. So technically I listed about $600 worth of stuff today. 2 of them was my Range Rover lights, and then some other stuff. So basically what I've been realizing is that I could do so much better by just mixing things up a little bit. Like, for instance, now when I'm driving for Uber or Lyft, in my case it's just Lyft, I'm not thinking I am somehow at a loss. I'm more like I'm standing around, like I'm sitting around and I'm digging through my phone. I'm just making listings for eBay. I could have been doing that at home. Instead, I'm at least getting paid for it. So that's kind of like what I'm doing. One comment that I left on one of the comments that I have gotten on a recent video is that recently, like after posting an eBay video, somehow I've been looking up other YouTubers as well, like that's doing eBay. But after I posted that video, which was like a couple days ago, some man, older gentleman, like he's like 60 something, lives in California, and what was interesting is he's making quite a bit of money. Like he's making approximately $750,000 a year between Amazon and eBay. But he says he was an Uber driver. That's what he was doing. So what he started doing with his time is something similar to what I'm doing. So he started, I think, making a little less than he wanted to make, right? I guess he wasn't really happy what the income was, but this was like a while ago for him, because I think he's been doing eBay for maybe 5 years now. So things didn't necessarily start out. Well, he was not making crazy money at first. Like I think he was like making like $11,000 at first, like in his first year, like in eBay. But it doesn't matter. Like there's growth, as you could tell. There's always potential for growth. And what he was doing is he was driving around and he was going different thrift shops and whatnot, and he was finding items to sell on eBay. So he was thrifting while working for Uber. So his idea was like, he would be in a specific area. I mean, he technically got paid to go to that area. Then he would go to a specific thrift shop and he would shop for things he wanted to sell. So that gave him the ability to basically drive for free to those locations, and not only that, but to get paid for it. But what really ultimately ended up happening is he learned from it, and he started making way more money. And do you think you could pay him enough to do Uber or Lyft? Heck no. But that is really cool. I just think that's really cool that I found somebody that was doing eBay, because here I was thinking, should I be sharing my eBay stuff with you guys? Because it's technically not rideshare, but my idea is sharing anything in a gig economy, while Uber and Lyft, and DoorDash and I guess like Amazon Flex and all of these other things, that's kind of like gig economy, right? That's what we're normally thinking of. And naturally you would think that eBay and Amazon does not qualify as gig economy, right? Because technically it's not somebody giving us gigs, kind of like sales. But I would put it in the same category though, as kind of like gig economy. Why? Because in one word, I think gig economy means getting supplemental income while not being employed. You're mainly like self-employed, and that sort of counts. Any small business that you would do, like even like mowing somebody's lawns, that would be technically like a gig. You got a gig to mow somebody's lawn. That's kind of like a business. So I'm thinking it would be a good idea. I'm thinking, well, let me know what you're thinking, but I think it would be a good idea to share my experiences in doing different type of gig work, technically. Not necessarily gig work, but in this gig economy, sort of like doing something entrepreneurial, some kind of small business, some kind of small side hustle, where you're technically not employed, but you're able to make money. So I think this should, help give some ideas to somebody. What I'm sharing is like nothing new, but I'm doing a lot of different things, guys. A lot of different things. So feel free to share with me something that you're doing that I haven't mentioned, because everybody's unique in their own way. And everybody can definitely teach you something, you know. And this is why, like, I'm willing to share like my thoughts and experiences and whatever. But anyways, as you could tell, while I'm driving and basically talking to you guys, I'm driving home. Like, I'm not home yet. It will probably take me like another 30 minutes to get home, but I always record videos while on the way home and on the way to work, basically, because I didn't just work 12 hours. I technically worked 14, and I straight up just worked 12 hours. Like, I did not go offline. I just been working. Did not take any breaks. I actually did not even take a lunch break. I had a steak with me that my wife gave me to go. I told her to cook me a steak. She did, and that's what I ate. I was just eating steak in between trips and whatnot, and making eBay listings. But what I'm doing with my eBay, guys, it's a little bit different than what this man was doing, because the man was doing thrifting and basically like reselling. He's buying something on, let's say, Goodwill, and he'll resell it. Like, he's a reseller, and there's money to be made there as a reseller on eBay. Lots of people are doing it. But what I'm doing is I'm buying a whole complete car and I'm just parting it out. And I recorded a lot of different videos with a lot of my ideas and stuff that I'm doing, but I've looked at all the cars that I have, and I've realized I don't have time to fix all the cars and make money, because there's a trade-off. There's all, you know, I'm trading my time basically for nothing, in hopes of when I sell the car, somehow I get the time back. And a lot of the cars that I have, even though they're nice cars and I could sell them and I could make money on them, I could tell the time that I'm going to spend on them. If I spend them at Lyft, I would have been better off, kind of. So now I'm all in on basically just selling used car parts. Just all in on that. And I think, you know, me being 42 years old, finally, I'm starting to get it, you know. Up until now, even like this year, I was still trying to find what should I be doing for the rest of my life, you know, that kind of thing. Like, I was still searching, and I was thinking, I'll do this and I'll do that. Like, and I still may do some of those things, but I'm beginning to realize I can't be everywhere. There's certain things I can do it, but it's not going to be the best use of my time, is what I'm trying to say. So I was thinking about building a shop, which I will be building a shop, but it's no longer going to be accepting work from other people, you know, because I've really never technically thought about accepting work from other people. But I always thought about giving work for me, just repair my cars in there. But there's lots of people, like, literally have like 2 customers that want to come to me for me to work on their Sprinter vans. Now, I could make $100 an hour fixing their vehicles, and I'm not going to do that, because while I can make that much money, that is not my goal. Like, I'm thinking that I should just go all in on just disassembling cars, listing car parts, and just keep it simple. Buy cars, take them apart, list the parts. Simple. And I like simple, you know, but there is certain cars that I would like to buy and fix, and those cars will be for myself. That is me servicing my own cars. And I buy cars that I actually like to drive. So, like, as far as the fuel economy, I really don't even care anymore, because I think working for Lyft, if this continues like this, I'm not gonna be basically I'm not gonna let Lyft eat up all my time, or like Uber, for really shitty pay. Like $13 an hour is just crap. Like, unless I'm already doing something else, like with my time, like listing eBay listings and whatever. I'm driving, maybe I need a breather, maybe I'm just tired, maybe I'm a little bit burned out. Maybe in that case I would drive around just so I could still make money while I'm relaxing. I could only see it doing it for that reason. But working for $13 an hour, no, that just doesn't cut it for me. It's just dumb. Like I just don't even understand it. On top of that, you already know I just calculated the amount of money I made for the period of 12 hours. But realistically speaking, I was working 14 hours. So that's even less for me. Like even less income. So that's completely terrible. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. But I think everything happens for a reason in your life. So if you're getting right now really bad pay, that means there's a better opportunity right around the corner. Now you will force yourself to find it. And that is what's happening to me. Is literally this week, like Wednesday, when I worked for almost 5 hours and I made really crappy pay, I came home. Like I just could not take it anymore. I came home because I realized I thought I was only making like $6 an hour. Turns out I was making $5, even worse after fuel. But that really triggered me. Like I thought, wow, how am I wasting this time? No way, I'm going home. 5 hours is enough. Like still 5 hours is plenty. On top of that, think about this. I drove 1 hour to work and 1 hour back, so that's 7 hours. So that was horrible. And and I don't even calculate those hours, just the 5 that I worked. And that still was $5 an hour. So that, like, literally I would be getting less. So at what point enough is enough? Like, it's almost kind of like at this point I'm paying Lyft to work for them. How so? Well, think about all the wear and tear we're putting on the cars and the tax deductions that IRS allows us to write off. I think right now it's 64 cents a mile they're allowing us to write off. So I put somewhere above 400 miles just in today. Just today. Just going home, it's 60 miles pretty much each way from Charlotte. That's only to the edge of Charlotte. It's 37 miles. But realistically, it's 60 miles. So that's like 120 miles just coming and going. Like, yeah, sure, you don't have to do that, but I do. And that's the price I'm paying. With all that being said, I think that's enough said, and I don't want to really have to drag this out any more than it has to be. But all I'm going to try to tell you is now I'm going to push myself super hard, and I'm going to be even more successful because these bad times are forcing me to get better at what I'm doing. Because when I was making good money, I was like thinking like, well, this is fine, this is great, but now it's not. So time to make even more money. So let me know, guys, if you want to see me post videos that has to do with eBay, and to what extent you want to see stuff, because there is so much to cover with that. I will be making a whole another channel just for eBay, because when it comes to eBay, there's so much to talk about. There's the actual portion where you're finding stuff, finding items to sell, what sells, and all these different rules and regulations with eBay, and just showing like how I'm packing stuff and shipping stuff, because that's also important, because there's lots of scams on eBay. So you want to make sure that you have video evidence of you on opening packages that people return to you, and showing you actually packaging items when the person who gets them shows that they're broken, but really it will be like nearly impossible, because if you package them really well, you could see that. But there's a lot that goes into it. But I'm thinking about on this channel just covering you know, just how much items I'm listing and, you know, what is selling and how much I'm making and maybe how much I have listed, and just various different things that you need to do eBay. Like, I think that would be good to cover that. But at this point, I just started basically listing because I wasn't listing, I think, for a couple years. So when you stop listing, you sort of hurt yourself because you're kind of like inactive. So now I got to get back to being active, and then things will get back to normal and I'll be selling items. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.